If they can get to it, we'll have to see, because Champ Select is here and underway. Passione on that blue side. They'll get the first ban. What are we thinking?
All right, so we're definitely going to see a Swain ban from Melbourne University Esports. We can write that one off, but there's a lot to talk about with this Melbourne University squad. So Voyas is happy to eat bans. He will just go down to something like the Orn, something like the Scion. Very rarely do we see this guy on a carry, but as I set up when we're going into the game, I am looking at that mid-jungle core of Melbourne University Esports and how they work against Aria and Brattles, because Brattles is someone who can take over those games. On picks like the Swain, he has a very good champion pool of these control mages, so I'm very much expecting something aggressive out of the mid-jungle, something like a Xin Zhao, Vi, and then Mingji on something like the Aria. And we'll see if that is what comes through and how that gets protected against. So there's the Xin ban from Passione, so really well scouted. The other one that does pop up a lot is going to be that Lee Sin. Summoner 7 at the OLI, I think he played like 3 or 4 straight Lee Sin games before they got into the playoffs. So very, very proficient on that champion. Very similar to actually to Evelyn during his run through the OLI as ODT actually. So yeah, much to be feared on that side. So we'll see if that does hit the table. There's the Talon. That's a weird one. Yeah,
that's interesting. Maybe they have some inside knowledge that we don't have. The Xin Zhao, like you said, you're a bit of a prophet. We'll have to see what their last ban is. It will be the Affilios. So Lee Sin open, that Vi open, like you mentioned, they are R1, R2 as well. So they will have that option to lock the Ari and the Vi as that mid-jungle duo if they wish. Graves as well. We're seeing some very interesting bans come out here.
I think Rumble priority actually goes up here. I think if Light can lock away Rumble, that really nullifies any of those potential tank matchups. The other one would be potentially, like Ambess is not bad either as a flex. It works really well into those tanks once the armor pen comes through. The Eclipse also really helping out in that regard. We'll see what the response is, because we can look at, there's a Yunara Lulu available here for Ayamaro and Depache, so if they want to go that direction, then that just gives us so much agency in team fights, and they're just going to go for Mingji's Syndra.
Ooh, locking the Syndra is a bit of an interesting choice,
there
especially with a lot left open. There's the Orn for Voyas in the top lane. Pretty solid pick. I mean, into the Embessa, it might be the Embessa jungle, but even still in the top lane, that's a pretty nice, stable lane.
Oh, Ziggs locked in. This is something we saw yesterday from, I can't recall which team it was, but they had the Ziggs Vi combo to just completely blow up the immobile mid laner. I think it was a Rise on the other side, securing a pushing mid lane, so pushing bot lane with the Karma, regardless of what they pair it with. I think there's a chance that this is the Ziggs mid into the Syndra.
Especially with the Karma lock-in.
A bit. Yeah, the Karma lock-in, of course, means that you get double AP down there. You're going to take away the Ezreal. Makes a lot of sense. But yeah, the Ziggs with the Vi combination. So Melbourne University, I think, are pressed to either ban or take away that Vi on R4. And I think you just take it. I think what you're showing here, Vi Syndra with the Ezreal follow-up, with the Orn engage, that just feels fine. So a bit face up from Passione.
Yeah, and still a lot of flexibility in the draft, right? Could be the Ambessa jungle. It could be Ziggs in the bot lane. It could be something crazy like Karma top. I mean, we've seen it before, especially with the tank build.
Could be.
But we'll have to see. There's the Aurora ban coming through. Probably expecting that to be a Ziggs in the bot lane then at that point. Lee Sin ban, like you mentioned, the Vi is still up. We'll have to see if that will be that final ban here. As Kajamo on that Ziggs, I've heard about it in the past. So we'll have to see if that is the choice to go with in Galio. So they are seemingly MUE expecting this to be Ziggs bot lane.
Yeah, I think the Aurora ban just makes a lot of sense, because you do have potentially, it's going to be the top lane Orn, so you don't want the Aurora to go top, have the Ambessa flex in the jungle and just have a lane bully matchup up there, which is just, Voyas is very, very good in weak side matchups. I was talking before we went live that this guy, back in the OLI, had a 5.55 KDA game time overall in weak side matchups, but then it was like a 7.1 if you just look at the first 10-15 minutes. So incredible effort by him. The J4 is a bit early, but what are we thinking here? Are we thinking we're going to isolate out a Sivir or a Jinx? Because that's probably the only thing that makes sense if you're looking for a bot laner to go alongside the Karma at this point, and it's probably going to be that Sivir, right?
Yeah, I mean, clearly they're expecting it to be. I mean, Mundo's there, so we'll lock in that it will be Mbessa top. And that just leaves. There's very few ways here for MUE to actually deal with this Mundo.
Yeah, it is a low damage composition. Okay, so it is going to be the Orianna and the Ziggs going into the bot lane. So we've kind of just ended up in a situation where neither side really has a lot of consistent DPS. It's going to be one shots or nothing. And really just a Syndra that's put on notice. So I love that. That's so good. Double poke in the bot lane gives you more sustain, gives you more survivability through that upfront burst. That is such a heads-up pick by Melbourne University, and that makes this draft so difficult, or this game so difficult to navigate for La Passione, because they just don't have DPS. They have an Mbessa. That's it.
Yeah. All of their damage is going to come from landing one of those amazing bouncing bombs or that QW combo from Braddles. But if you're out of position for that, especially with the space that can be provided with the Cataclysm, with the Scatter of the Weak, even with that Mbessa ult, also the Seraphine ult as well, there's so much space that MUE can actually use to their advantage and just take away mobility from the side of La Passione. Everything on the line here for both of these teams. If MUE win, this group is decided, or at the very least the teams going through will be decided.
Yeah, 100%. Everything to gain here for La Passione if they can find the win in this game. And I think a lot of it is going to come around through that combination we saw yesterday. It's a modified version with the Mbessa once she hits level 6, so going to need to power farm to that mark so she can hit that ultimate on something like a Syndra, on potentially an Ezreal, but that's a much harder ask. And just be ready to have the Ziggs bomb come down. Looking for an invade here by Arya. This is bold. I mean, he could look for the snipe. As a smite snipe? That's difficult to say.
As he doesn't know. This is oh my god, he got it. And now, with the extra ability, forces the flash early. A disastrous start here for Summoner 7. And immediately Arya gets full control of this jungle.
Yeah, he's going to get everything. He's going to get that red buff and the Raptors. Summoner 7 going to have to bomb it down to his bot side. We'll see if he looks for a counter invade here, as he does have the push in bot side from Ayamaru and Depache, because expected with the Ezreal and the Seraphine in the bot lane, even with the Karma trying to push back, even with the Ziggs. Just so much easier to get the stacked up passive from Ezreal, extra attack speed. So much more poke from the Seraphine, so definitely helps out. Summoner 7 really trying to get some levels up. He could be looking for maybe a bot side clear into a bounce, into a gank on the bouncing wave, as this wave is going to crash very shortly. And that timer could sync up.
Yeah,
but he's very much in recovery mode.
I guess the silver lining of this is that Jarvan is one of those champions where you can just play to be that EQ bot. If worst case scenario happens and you are this far behind, going to invade on his own though and secure at least a red buff. He ignored the blue buff for now, and gives him a little bit of room to work with. Minji could be getting this solo kill. Oh my god, immediately in the solo kill in top lane as well. Kills. What just happened across the board here? He wasn't even under tower, he was nowhere near.
Didn't even see it, but I can't blame the Observer for missing that one. No one expects the top lane kill. Some of the 7 might just have to EQ out here. It's got
for the moment, he's level 3. Now Complex could be in a bit of trouble of his own. Arya, this is going like they're just falling like flies here. If they can land one more Q onto this Mbessa, that would be disastrous even more. I mean, Braddle's just completely disrespecting Minji's damage here. Oh, look at that. The flag not quite securing it.
Barrel.
Ayamaru probably going to find it. Oh, dives on in.
He gets it.
I guess he was hoping to try and get the execute and the kill at the same time, but just
had to be the thought. Like the minion wave had arrived, so he really had to just walk up much earlier, but he was kind of in a really awkward spot with the minion wave on top of him. But a couple of really nice kills. Let's see it here. Braddles just gets
disrespectful of
scattered.
Damage.
Bing G has a lot of damage, has the ignite. Did that ignite? It would have procced the arrow, so extra damage coming through. Then Ayamaru just goes completely ballistic here. Shifts forward. Arya on a tick of health. just that one auto attack away. If anyone had walked under the tower and hit him, he would have been dead to rights.
Oh
but
no.
it's
Oh,
really
no.
awkward. It's so tough.
So
Don't look away, children.
He tried to get the Essence Flux damage.
Yeah.
Hang on. There
another
might be another solo kill mid. In the moment, the Aerie finishes it off. Nice flash as well. Will get him out of trouble. First strike plus the damage might be a little bit to turn it, but it won't be enough. And Minji is just dog walking this mid lane.
Yeah, really, really nice. Brattle's unfortunately just getting taken to task by Ming-Ji, who was just so impressive throughout the entire OLI season. And continues to show dominance, even in that previous game as well. I believe it was on the Ari. Just looks so impressive. So Ayamaru and Dupache also just stepping up big, even with that one death. Every time we pan down here, that wave has been under tower in their favor. They've got the mobility, they've got the heals, they've got the poke, everything to just navigate any ganks that come their way. And they know at this point that Arya is likely topside, so they can just continue to keep this pressure on and keep Kajama honest, who is completely out of mana, by the way. So he just doesn't really get to play the game as a Ziggs. Whereas Ayamaru here stacking up.
What?
Oh, Voyus is the weak side king.
Again?
Again,
this is an Ornn and a Mundo, by the way. This is not like some, kill heavy, like, carries or anything like that. No, this is an Ornn.
Yeah, so the first time this happened, I will say it again, I don't blame the Observer for not looking top, because Brattles might just be dead. Nah, he's fine. But yeah, I don't blame the Observer for not looking top. I don't get to talk about that, do I?
Oh, good flash from Summon the 7. We'll save your conversation and allow you something.
It's okay. Yeah, we're just going to burn the flash on Summon the 7, so one of those offensive tools.
They really don't want you speaking about this, do they?
No, they don't. They don't want us to speak about top laners. That's the conspiracy in LoL Esports, is we don't get to talk about top laners. The moment we do, we say it's a wet noodle fight. Suddenly they start killing each other. If we say it's going to be a fun matchup, then both of the superstar top laners will pick tanks, and then they will have that wet noodle fight. But the point I wanted to make is that Voyus, just once again, some weak side king on these champions, to be feared, now has a massive lead, and that is going to be, it's going to accelerate to getting those ornaments online, and getting the Cloud Drake means that there's a lot of pressure. So Melbourne University Esports, just off of, I think, a really well-played draft, getting exactly what they want, just using their priority, have set themselves up really nicely for this mid-game.
And it's only a 4-camp lead for Arya. Like, sure, he's a little bit over a level ahead now, right? Like, obviously, Jarvan's probably hits 5 now, so not a terrible position to be in, but even still, this is not the pace I thought we were going to see as public execution going to be used. The chain CC is there, and the shutdown.
That champion was released in 2025.
Yep.
Yeah, you can tell.
Incredible gank potential with an unstoppable knock-up suppression from a screen away. You love to see it. And this immobile carry just falls immediately as now Arya smites away again. This is a rough situation to be in. It's completely accelerating ahead. Even like the gold would be in their favor if it wasn't for the Ornn. I want to make that 100%. Clear.
Yeah, the Voyus has definitely bailed them out of this game as well. The bot lane, yes, they've had push. You can see that 300 gold lead, but Arya has been so successful in finding impact across the map, building up towards a very aggressive damage-focused build as well. So they will be one-shotting anyone they find. And while it does leave you a little bit squishy, it does let them do the one job, which I think that they're trying to build up for, which is just kill one target and then hope that they don't have enough damage left in the tank for whoever's left. So an Ezreal, a Syndra, you're probably going for that Syndra every single time because she's going to be bringing the most of the damage, and then Ezreal, obviously a little bit of a low damage carry, can potentially just be chopped down for the rest of the fight. And
not again. Not again. Oh, Voyus might not live to telltale this time around. The root's going to come through, and there's 3 people up here. They're just sending the Avengers to deal with this God of the Forge here, and Light barely lives to tell the tale, but a huge shutdown in the hands of Arya. Good jump away with the blast pack there. Might find it almost. Tries to get the extension on the charm, but it won't be enough at the end of the day. But they're going to push in a lot towards this bot lane and continue to extend Ayamaru's lead. That tier is stacking up. The color's stacking down. This Ezreal is going to be a threat in the mid game.
Yeah, definitely. He is going to be that another one of those points of strength. But what I was going to say is that it feels like Aria and the rest of the team have done a really good job of attacking what is often Melbourne University Esports win condition. They've kept Mingji relatively honest. He is 2-1. But they've also attacked Summoner 7 and really stifled his impact on the map.
You say that now, though.
Electro dive.
Scatter the weak. He's going to miss. TP is going to come down from Brattles.
Mission accomplished.
Force him to retreat. Yeah, mission accomplished. You take him away from the lane. They're going to push in regardless, and Arya is going to get a nice injection of experience and gold from that. But even still, just keeping them on their toes.
Yeah, definitely. Does get the teleport outs, which I think is going to be really nice for the side of Melbourne University Esports.
Especially
looking to threaten that dive. Yeah, especially with the Dragon coming up in 1 minute 30. We'll have that Summoner spell on cooldown. Whereas they have basically everything up except for the Ornn Flash. And Ornn Flash, he doesn't need it. He's got a big chunky health bar and a Holy Radiance to his name. So he is completely fine as Voyus.
Starting to see how this damage comes about, especially with the Brittle. Through the ult, still chunking him low. Arya's trying desperately to staunch the bleeding up here, but it's giving Summoner 7 a lot of space to come back into this lane. Sure, there is still that 1.6k gold lead, but the jungle quest progression is dead even between them.
Yeah, definitely. And the big thing here, I think, is that Voyus needs to be unlocked. You've got this Dragon spawning 45 seconds. He's pushing the wave. He needs to go back to base right now, and you can see he's doing exactly that. Bot lane is pushing. They're completely fine. Looks like they've taken their reset fairly recently. Jungler gets theirs in now. So this is now where you need to prepare for this Dragon fight. This is going to be very important for the rest of the game for Melbourne University if they can keep this pressure up in terms of these objectives. Let's see if they can get it done. Because Mingji, he has been found wanting in the past couple of these exchanges in the mid lane where Arya has gotten the better of him. He really needs to be on his toes for the next couple of minutes.
Sparks might be in a bit of trouble. Bursts down, forces the heal out with 5 seconds up on that Dragon. And Voyus is staying in the top lane, no TP available. If they're going to do this, they're going to have to get through a very strong Ambassador. Yeah, they've got the vision. They know Arya is nearby now.
Yeah, they've got pressure in top lane, so I think they're just thinking that the Ornn will have to, the Mundi will have to stay top, but this is bold. With your support this chunked out, this feels like it didn't need to happen.
No, it didn't, and now they give up all that pressure on the Dragon itself. Mingji has Ignite, has QE, has a Flash as well.
She has
land a really nice combo. Oh, the Flash almost lands everything, but barely goes wide on it all. And now this could be disastrous. Looking for more. Summoner 7 goes down. That's 2 kills. Ayamaru might be in trouble. That's a triple kill over to Mbessa. And Arya is running away with this game.
Arya is just taking this game by the horns, biting them, whatever you want. Arya is going crazy. Hubris in the inventory means that he's stacking up so much AD, so much lethality, and as soon as he finds the target into the fight, we will see it here. He gets the ultimate. So unfortunately, this ultimate from Depashi, Flash ultimate, draws out 2 flashes, but he's so low that Arya just goes in, just gets the kill. Mingji doesn't have enough damage, and then Ayamaru is kind of sectioned off from the fight and tries to deliver as much damage, but he's just an Ezreal without the backup of his team, so he just doesn't have enough, and it's just such a mistake, I think, by Melbourne University to not deploy Voyus into the fight. At this point, like, what does denying the window just doesn't really get you a lot. So yeah, should have just gone for the rotation. Really unfortunate stuff. You can understand the logic, of course. Like at this, you think that the rest of them have got it, and maybe they were thinking there wasn't going to be a contest because of the push in bot lane, because of the mid lane condition. But unfortunately, that is not the case. And Voyus is very, very low here. Well,
I don't know. Public execution not up for another 20 seconds. So probably just going to stick with invading, getting that jungle quest completed. Summoner 7 is here now, but immediately he doesn't want any part of that situation.
This Ambessa is
they're going to dive. They're going to look to dive here, but it could be a little bit of an odd situation. Public execution gets him out, almost lands it instead. It will be the 1-for-1 trade for now. The Void Grub buys a bit of time to work with. Arya, this is not the situation you want to do that. and a double kill over to Summon the 7, who gets a massive injection of gold and can continue to push out this top lane. I feel like the chaos from last game is just continuing to permeate on the Rift.
It's not going to equalize any of that gold lead for Aria, but it is definitely going to help. Summon the 7 played that so well, killing the Grub to try and get the tower aggro back. Voyus, really nice try with the charge into the wall to try and get the knockup that drew the flash out of Aria at the last possible second. Ayamaru is
charm.
He's
Goes wide, but he doesn't even need it. The lethal tempo, the auto attacks are there. Looking like Doggo on the Rift as Ayamaru continuing to push this plate and potentially looking for a tower in mid on his own.
Looks like he is going to get that. There is a support next to him. Let's give the supports their due.
True. Shout out to Despass for that.
I've been going with Depashi, but maybe that's because I cast him with Formal a lot. I think that's a very American way to say it. Like, hey, Depashi.
Oh, the heal.
Kajamo.
Won't be enough this time around, though. Pash, is going to fall on down as well. They have overstayed their welcome there. The double kill goes over to Kajamo. Look at that damage from a single cleaver. These tanks are just running the Rift right now. Summon the 7 might be able to do something, but the ult is popped and it's going to force them off. They don't want any part of that smoke. Gold lead still maintained, but it's only down to the 1k. So despite the lead from Aria, things are slowly shifting as Kajamo continues to push towards potentially another tower. Hang on. They're going to continue. Aria. Public execution. It's clean. And they find another.
Trick. Just makes Ming-Ji disappear under his tower. Ayamaru and Depashi, they're trying to equalize this push in the mid lane. It really feels like Melbourne University Esports are being pulled around the map. They're not being allowed to have the honest 5v5 that their composition wants. There's the Ornhorn. It's probably not going to result in a lot. Voyus really wants it to.
Yeah, but I was going to say... Oh, you go.
Yeah, their comp really wants to teamfight, right? Like, they've got this Syndra to set up the scatters. You've got an Ornn, which automatically says teamfight. Ezreal wants to DPS behind his front line. But they're just not being given the chance because La Passione around this incredibly active Ambessa on Aria just haven't been given the chance to... they're just being... They're being man-fought at every opportunity. And now this is a situation where Aria has 25 stacks on Hubris and an Axiom Arc. So anyone who looks at dies. And we're probably about to see it again, even though that's an Ornn.
Voyus in a little bit of trouble once more. Gonna land Shockwave in the moment. They might not even need it. Mike gets dangerously close to falling on down, but that's an 8th kill for the Matriarch of Noxus. And I was gonna say something about 3 odd minutes ago, a little bit after, about that fight around the dragon, but we just had non-stop chaos ever since. They've been trying to their team comp really needs these front-to-back fights.
No!
Public execution goes over. The scatter of the week barely gonna miss. The bomber finds it, and it's disastrous. And La Passione wants out of this group bad.
How that the scatter missed. I think, did Aria start using a skill? No, they just whiffed it. Just Aria's movement towards the camp. I mean, you can see the vision, right? He thought that they were just going to start hitting the camp, but unfortunately the scatter goes wide, and then Aria just says, "Oh, hi," and kills you where you stand. Ooh woo. And now he's going to get the Hextech Drake to find out what soul we're in for. As Melbourne University, they're just in a world of pain.
It's Hextech Soul.
It's Hextech Soul? Oh, yes, okay. Yeah, we're up to the 3rd Drake. New interface, getting used to it. This is not how I expected this game to go, and it just feels like Melbourne University are just they're not being given enough macro room to kind of set up for their fights, get the push, set up vision, be at the objectives. It's just been these piecemeal skirmishes around the map where they are able to use this Ambessa to full effect, and now losing even more.
Going for the full Tokyo drift towards top lane here. Will it land in time? It will. They'll get that, but there's not a lot of backup to get that tower and get another push going as Voyus looking for something. Lands the knock up onto 1. Maybe it finds something here, but look how far away Ayamaru is, because this is a Mundo just walking right to your face as a bomb comes in from half the map away. They'll take the tower in top as well. And suddenly, that 1k gold lead less than 3 minutes ago has 6 times itself, and they're now looking to push towards the inhibitor here. And they are... I have no words for this domination that we are seeing from the side of La Passione.
Yeah, you just don't have a map. And this is where we're starting to kind of see the cracks in Melbourne University Esports composition as... No, MigG is totally fine.
Look at that gold lead.
Yeah, gold lead is kind of grim. But what we're seeing here is that, yes, they have such a good teamfight setup for Melbourne University Esports, but that's exactly what it is. They can't use... It's not exactly pick CC, it's not point and click, it's something like a Maokai. If they see someone in isolation, they don't have any way outside of maybe scatter to catch them and blow them up. And even then, the burst is kind of isolated entirely to Syndra. So in these scattered skirmishes that we're getting across the map, they don't really have anything to bring to bear. They really want this concerted, everyone on the same screen, everyone layers their crowd control, everyone layers their damage setup, and they're not being given it. And Ziggs is so good in these situations. Browser's going to flash.
And they're throwing everything in the kitchen sink towards it, but there's a 1-for-1 trade at the end of it all because Aria flashes for it, looking for more. The bomb over the wall. Ayamaru falls on down, and Kijamo's unstoppable. That's a double kill. The Mbessa, and what looked like potentially a pick, like you mentioned with the Scat of the Week, falls completely flat. And now Voyus
just too
needs to try and find something, pushes him out of the ult recall. And now what can you do in this situation? They've got so much set up for this Baron if they so choose, or at least around it, and they are going to run away with control of this map.
The window has just been slammed shut. Any attempt you might have had to set up those team fights is just not going to be there. Light just gets to live in the enemy base.
Oh my, look at that damage. Going to run away as well. Tries to get out, but won't. Has the ghost though. They're trying desperately to take him down. He's just stacking heart stealers. He's merry at this point. Even if he dies, might just find some more. The shutdown's nice. But it's on to Summon the 7. You prefer on someone else? Hang on! The Scorch, the Blackfire Torch is enough.
Oh,
and Kijamo from across the map drops a sledgehammer on them.
It's just a heartbreaker for Ayamaru. I don't know if he had the shop open. Complex going to flash here, but feels like a bit of a consolation prize here for Summoner 7 and co. So it is going to be dragging 1 minute. We're trying to get anything they can off the map. They just can't do it. Wait.
Jamo's in a bit of trouble. Public execution onto the backline. Dispast. Oh my, look at that damage. And that's a double kill. They've wiped them off the map.
Oh no.
Aria is a flamethrower this game.
He is a nuclear bomb. He is a flamethrower. He is every weapon you could think of, except for me. I'm a different type of weapon. Aria is carrying this entire game by himself, basically. And Kijamo, they try to find the engage, but he has the Arm Guardian inventory. So it just falls flat. Ult through into the backline. And Bessa doing exactly what she's designed to do. Just eliminates the backline. Summoner 7, it's desperate stuff. It just feels like they know that they need to try and find something, but they're going for an opportunity that looks like one, and it just is not. And they're being drawn into these scrappy fights that they don't need to be a part of. But because you're so far behind with this team fighting composition, you can't really even team fight in earnest against what's been set up. I mean, we haven't even seen Brattles even have to use the shockwave because the opportunity hasn't presented itself. It's just been Aria just killing people before they even get a chance to even blink.
This is a 4-item Mbessa. This is Death Dance, more of Malmortius. I am not dying if you throw the entire team at me. As Brattles might have been caught. Won't be able to use that shockwave this time around, but still chunked Minji low. So will mean another Hextech going on over to the side of the Passione. Aria, the boss of this team, the Don.
7.1k. That's bonkers.
That's at this point, this healing, by the way. And the bomb, hang on. Ayamaru could be in a bit of trouble. Blackfire Torch.
He's burning.
Might secure it. Won't be able to just yet. Light finally falls on down, but they commit all 5 to dealing with this Mundo. The tower drops in mid. The inhib will be sure to follow. Maybe they're going to find something with the Cataclysm here, but they just don't have the damage. They don't have the setup to work with. Aria CC'd up. public
Oh, there it
execution melts them. Looking for Voyus now, making this tank look like a carry. Minji not long for the world. Ayamaru running for the hills. And La Passione are probably going to walk away with this game. A dominating performance, a triple kill to cap it all off from Battles. And they will move up to 1-1. They will keep their hopes of playoffs alive.
They will keep this group alive. They will try and push further into the Oceanic Resurrection tournament. And there's nothing else to say other than this was just an absolute drubbing, a hyper carry out of the jungle role for Aria, who just put on a clinic. They put so much pressure on Summoner 7 early in the game, and he just wasn't able to play the game. The invade worked out great. It was all started at that red buff, and then it was just domination from there.
What a performance, literally from minute one for this ambassador for Aria. The entire team, it was chaotic as we expect for this day. We had tank solo killing in the top lane, but at the end of it all, Aria definitely runs away with my MVP for this match. Like I mentioned, they keep their hopes alive. They've got a pretty, I don't want to say easy matchup, but they've got Chudlings next in this group. Maybe they can move to 2-1. Meanwhile, MUE, they have to go through Rich Dynasty as their last game in this group. There is a very real chance, we said coming into this day, MUE might just lock it. There's a very real chance they could get eliminated next weekend.
Yeah, and this is a team that I had massive hopes for, but they got absolutely blasted, and it was, I can't say anything against it. They just played incredibly well, and I had concerns about the draft going in. I was like, okay, how do you navigate team fights? And the answer is you absolutely do not need to. They were playing effectively the isolate and blow up combination we saw from yesterday. So they didn't need to worry about teamfight DPS because they always had enough damage to explode someone from half a map away with the Ziggs. And it's just beautifully well played. And a lot of it came through from just Aria, constant pressure in the jungle, constant sealing out the camps, constant denial of resources away from the Jarvan. So they just didn't have a front line to set up team fights, never had priority, never had anything to play through. So just really well navigated by La Passione, and love to see them bounce back after after week one and really make this group super interesting. I mean, if we have a tiebreaker, this is going to be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, just completely invalidating anything that they tried to do with the front to back. Obviously, the public execution worked for that very well. But at the end of the day, La Passione, they move up to 1-1 in the standings. We're only halfway through the game, through the day. We've still got 2 more games ahead of us. It's craziness over here in the Oceanic Resurrection. But we'll be right back after a quick break for the remainder of the games tonight. So don't go anywhere.